Hello and welcome to the RBC Lunch and Learn series presented by the J Herbert Smith Centre. I'm your host, Jade, and I'm so excited to be greeting you to start off this year's sessions. With the new year, we know that a lot of people have resolutions to get things off the ground, push their goals forward. One of those goals might be to start a business or to take their business to the next level. We here at the J Herbert Smith Centre have a variety of programs that help businesses in different stages reach their goals. With that in mind, we thought to start off our new year, we could inform you of some of the programs that we have to offer and how they may be able to help your venture or idea. So today I have three guests joining us from across our many different programs. First of all, we have Rachel Clark, Program Coordinator for the Center, Inbal Lev, Program Manager of Accelerators, and Joe Allen, Managing Director of Accelerator. So I'll bring them all on here. 1 and 2 and 3. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining me today.
Hi.
Thanks for having us, Jade.
Okay, just making sure everything's working. Yeah, so why don't you all each do a little bit of an introduction for me, just so we can hear a little bit more about yourselves, other than you guys are coordinators and managers of our programs. So Rachel, why don't you start us off?
Sure. So I am the program coordinator at the J Herbert Smith Centre for Technology Management and Entrepreneurship. So basically what that means is I work on the academic side of the house with the diploma, the master's program, and then as well as the Scale Up Atlantic Canada side.
Thank you. And Joe, how about you up next?
Yeah, thanks, Jade. I'm the Managing Director of the Accelerator program. So I work with Bell and I work within the TME Center, JHSC, I guess, to help drive businesses forward. Background in accounting, spent probably close to 2 decades now working in economic development and helping companies along the way.
And Belle, how about we see from you, or hear from you now? No, Belle, we can't hear you, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Well,
Belle is our program manager, and she has been with us for going on her 2nd year. She has been the program manager and run, at this point, I believe it's 4 cohorts between Summer Institute and Energia. She joined us, like I said, 2 years ago. Prior to that, she's from Israel, from Beersheba, and has a background in municipalities and public administration, and has been a wonderful addition to the team.
I would have to agree with you wholeheartedly there, Joe. Belle has been a real great pleasure to work with and has really helped grow the programs that we offer here over the last couple of years. So thank you, Belle. And I'm sorry we can't hear you, unfortunately.
I was going to say we should start doing each other's intros from now on.
Yeah.
That might be a cool way to do things in the future.
Absolutely. And I think I'm going to take that and push that to the next staff meeting when we do that for sure. So let's start off by talking a little bit about some of the academic program side. So Rachel, you run, or you manage, I should say, and coordinate both the Diploma in Technology Management and Entrepreneurship, as well as the Masters in Technology Management and Entrepreneurship. Why don't you tell us a little bit about let's start off with the undergrad program for now.
Sure. So the undergrad program, or the Diploma in Technology Management and Entrepreneurship, is shortened to DTME. So we like our acronyms here. And the diploma is something that students can come and take at any point in your degree. It's 5 courses. And if you are able to course plan early, there's an opportunity that you can overlap a lot of those courses with courses that you already have to take within your degree program. So as I said, it's 5 courses. It's 3 core courses in TME, and then 2 electives from pre-selected approved DTME electives. So many of the courses that you're taking are in entrepreneurship, management, innovation, technology, and you're really able to explore the different types of interests that you might have while you're already taking your degree at UMB. So the 5 courses can be taken over your entire time here at UMB. So you're not trying to cram all those in to one term or one semester. You're able to kind of pick and choose classes that really fit into your course plan as you're going through your degree at UMB. And when you graduate, you get your degree as well as a diploma to show the incredible skills that you've gained through your time at UMB.
Awesome. So what type of students should really be looking into this sort of program? You said it works with any other degree already, but what sort of interests are usually the students that enroll in the diploma as well?
Students who should look at the DTME are students who have an interest in entrepreneurship, or students who might want to explore management skills as well, because there's all types of skill sets that are really being taught, as well as problem identification, problem solutions. So I really say it's a great addition to all of the skill sets that you're already learning at UMB. It's a great addition there, but really you're learning a lot of entrepreneurial type skills. So if you have that little sort of ping in the back of your brain that, hey, you know what, I really want to learn a little bit more about entrepreneurship, the DTME is a great opportunity for you.
That's great to hear. So I'm going to just shift a little bit. We'll come back and we'll talk about the Masters in Technology Management and Entrepreneurship here in a moment. But I think I want to just talk about the Summer Institute for a quick second, because it seems like a very natural progression for undergraduate students to go through the program and then look at some of maybe the other accelerator programs. So Joe, and I would say Belle, let's see if the mic works at this point. Why don't we talk a little bit about the Summer Institute and what that program is and what it sort of offers for potential people who are enrolled in it? Can't hear you. And Joe, if you're talking, or I'm not sure if
No, actually, I was just being facetious. My apologies. So Summer Institute is an accelerator program that focuses on companies that are at an earlier stage, typically, and we're addressing the need where companies, individuals, people have an idea, and they come to us and say, we'd like to grow our idea, and sometimes the idea is to the point where it's at revenue, actually. But what we do is we make sure that we equip our founders, and I say our because once you're in the Summer Institute, you're in the family forever. But our founders, we make sure that they're equipped with what we consider everything that's needed to run a business. If business were a book, we try to make sure that we cover all chapters of that book. It's a 13-week program where we have people come in, and traditionally it's been an in-person program where everybody comes to Fredericton and spends 3 months with us, typically programming on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So that you still have a couple days a week to work on the business as well as in the business. We really want to see companies be created and be developed with amazing founders, and that's our first and foremost focus. We make sure that we are working with good people. We make sure that we're working with people that have drive, ambition, and a talent for work like this, because it's work like no other. I mean, starting a business is a roller coaster of emotions, and there are highs like you wouldn't believe. It's beyond the moon, but the lows, you need to look up to see hell. So we want to make sure that we equip everybody with the skill sets to get through programs like this, and whether it's accounting or customer discovery or human resilience. We want to make sure that we take care of our companies so that they have the tool set when they finish the program to go out and do great things and be thought leaders and respected brands both within New Brunswick, the Atlantic Canadian provinces, and ideally the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just working with the Summer Institute myself over the last couple of years, it's been really amazing to see some of the founders as they come in and working with them and watching them grow and discover and shape themselves and become more resilient, as you say, and overcome a lot of these challenges, especially with some of the stuff that's facing us right now in this day and age. So, Joe, I know you've talked about the program right now and you're looking for people who are really coachable. When is the next cohort of Summer Institute, and when should people apply for the program?
Absolutely wonderful question, Jade. Coincidentally, there's a press release going out today that says, hey, applications are open today. Yay! So applications open today for the Summer Institute. They are open till February 28th. And we're looking for bright people with bright ideas, wonderful founders. Apply today. The application form is at www.summerinst.com. Not sure why we didn't pay for the whole word, but www.summerinst.com. And yeah, we are looking probably for 7 or 8 companies for this cohort. We recruit globally. With this program, we tend to have a higher focus on New Brunswick, but we recruit from outside of New Brunswick as well. Our last cohort, we started out with 9 companies. One of the things we like to see is if something's not going to work, that you get to fail fast. And so within that 13-week window last year, probably about halfway through the program, we lost a company. And it was simply a case they recognized that it wasn't going to work. And that's okay. Rather than spending the next 6 to 12 to 18 months working on this, from the side of your desk as you do your day jobs, it gives companies a chance to realize very quickly whether or not something has the potential to work.
Absolutely. And again, fail fast is a good lesson for any entrepreneur, especially when it comes to putting in resources. You want to know if something is going to work, and instead of doing it, waiting out a year and a half and figuring out, oh, no one wants to buy it, at least they can figure these sort of lessons out earlier on. So it is good to see some of those, as well as some of the ones that really flourish and grow. Just sort of speaking to that too, I know a lot of Summer Institute in the past has come from some of our programs here at the center already. So one in particular that I was just thinking of is the 4025 Senior Design Program. And Rachel, I think you could speak a little bit more to that as well.
I can, absolutely. So as fourth-year engineering students would know, you all have to take a capstone project. So as you're entering into your 4th year, some of you might want to start thinking about taking TME 4025 as an option. So it's really, you're able to dive into projects that you're solving real world problems and you're passionate about them. So you're able to build businesses out of these. And we've seen quite a few 4025 students move from 4025 capstone projects into Summer Institute. And I think Joe and Belle have seen a number of those projects flourish. And then they move into Mtme and on and on and on and grow into these wildly successful companies. So it's really interesting to see that these projects come in as just ideas. They pivot, they move, they go through customer discovery, they talk to human beings and do the research into the solution that they're thinking of, and then they develop the idea further.
Absolutely. And I know 4025 has been really interesting to see some of these engineering students come in and make these different projects and changes. So what makes 4025 different than any of the other capstone projects that you might see?
So you're getting the opportunity to explore interests that you have that are multidisciplinary. So you're able to work with engineering students from across the engineering disciplines, and you're creating groups, and you're coming in as a team, and you come in, you have to pitch your possible solution, because it is not a guaranteed class that you're going to be guaranteed into, and you're able to work. It's a very high touch class. So you're working with the professors, you're working with the instructors, and you're working with mentors to develop your idea. It's your solution, and you're getting to work further on the project that you really want to develop. So it's very much centric on the idea that you want to build. And it's very multidisciplinary as well.
Awesome. Like yes, that's the really cool thing I find, to see like chemical engineers working with software engineers or mechanicals or mechatronics or these many different disciplines working together on a single solution that creates this real diversity and synergy that brings out an amazing product. Now speaking a lot to that, and sorry for the dogs in the background there, but a lot of these products are very technologically inclined. Some are cybersecurity, some are energy efficiency, some are clean tech, and I've seen a few of them go into one of our the other accelerator that we run right now, and that's Energia Ventures. So Joe, tell us a little bit more about Energia and how it's different from the Summer Institute.
Absolutely. So Energia, as you mentioned, Energia is focused on energy, smart grid, clean tech, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. So we are recruiting companies that fall into those verticals, and those verticals alone. We are looking for companies typically that are a little further along the growth continuum, company growth continuum. Ideally, you're at the early adopter stage, either going into it or coming out of it, and really looking to ramp up sales. Of the 13-week program that we have, we focus on sales for 4 of those weeks. We recognize that you may be a subject matter expert, and you may be the world's most renowned person in your company, but you don't always have that skill set to sell. And we want to make sure that in order for you to keep the lights on, keep the research and development going, and making sure your business is viable, that you have the ability to sell. If you don't sell it and no one's buying it, you're not going to last very long. So we focus on companies that are a little further down the road in the development continuum, and that have a focus on one of those 5 verticals that I mentioned. We've had some great alumnus come through UNB, through the Dr. J Herbert Smith Centre. Stash Energy is one of them. Potential Motors is another that have gone through our program. Grey Wolf Analytics, a third. Companies that have been a part of TME and Mtme and moved on to become great companies in our program. Again, we recruit internationally, and again, our preference is to do it to run the program in person. With the Summer Institute, the last cohort that we did, it was a hybrid model. We did some virtual and some in the classroom. But our last cohort for Energia, which finished in, I believe demo day was December 16th, it was entirely virtual. And it worked out really well. I admit that I was hesitant and nervous about the virtual delivery, but it worked out really well. One of the biggest concerns I had was the what I like to call the water cooler collisions, where the companies are sitting down and talking, and it's that shoulder time where they're just chatting about stuff and learning about stuff, and you would be amazed at the amount of learning and the amount of progress that is made in those sessions. Just people, chewing the fat, and we still managed to get that with even with a virtual model. We are recruiting as well for Energia. It hasn't been released yet, but we plan on running the program concurrent to the Summer Institute. So we will be kicking off, I believe it's April 27th, and running right through until the mid to end of July. So July 16th or 23rd is the demo day. I can't remember which one. My apologies. And yeah, like I said, we recruit internationally. You do not have to be a student. I want to make sure that that's clear for both of our programs. You do not need to be a UNB student. Yeah, we look for the best and brightest from around the world that's got a solution that hopefully is world changing.
Amazing. Yes. And again, I've seen Energia from the first cohort to the current cohort, and then just watching some of those companies go through and the changes that they've made, not just here in our local ecosystem, but across the board, and where they're selling and the companies that they're helping and the people that they're helping in the different jurisdictions is amazing to see. Now, what is the application process like for Energia Ventures comparative to, say, other accelerators?
Our application form is pretty straightforward, to be honest. I think it's about 30 questions or less. We want to learn about you. We want to learn about the problem that you're solving and the solution that you're using to solve that problem. How much money you've raised, who your partners and investors are, how far along is the company in its development stages. And then we will have a call. We'll have a chat with you just to have just again to learn about you. We want to make sure that you can speak better than I am right now, and that you're not a complete knuckle dragger. We want to make sure that we have people that are coachable. Again, people are our number one focus. Solutions are great, but if you don't have the team and you don't have the resources or access to the people that you need to develop the program, to develop your company, you're not going to succeed. In a previous life, I worked with the New Brunswick Innovation Foundation as the director of investments, and so often we would see companies fail not because of the product. It was typically because of the team, and that's not. I'm not belittling those that failed, but sometimes the people on the team aren't the right match. Sometimes some people are just not coachable. But it was typically when it came to the failure, the team was the issue less than the product itself. So we want to make sure that we're bringing in those really good, coachable, well-rounded sponges of people. We want people that we'll push back if need be. I mean, being coachable doesn't mean you take everything that someone says and you do it like in a robotic format. We want to be challenged. We want people to push back. We want to have those conversations and know that it's not personal. It's just, okay, let's debate this so that we can figure out what is the best way for your company to move forward. And ultimately, it rests with you as a founder. You are the ones. You're the one with the shares. You're the one that's making the final decision. But we want to make sure that we equip you with the best possible guidance to make those decisions.
Absolutely. It goes both ways, right? Like, we try to help them grow, but even when they push back towards us, it helps us grow too, and it helps us understand and learn about the decision-making process of not just that entrepreneur, but just in general. And it might be something we take into consideration when we help another company later down the line, right?
Absolutely. We're entering our 8th cohort for the Summer Institute and our 5th cohort for Energia. And what we're doing now in the last cohorts compared to what we did in the first cohorts, we are definitely learning, and the program is has come leaps and bounds. In every program, we do a debrief and we make sure that okay, what went well, what didn't go well, and how can we make it better. We have no desire to rest on our laurels and just spit out the same program cohort after cohort. That would be it'd be boring. It'd be no fun.
Absolutely.
And when it comes down to it, we want to have fun. If it's not fun, why do it?
For sure. I'm just going to shift gears real quick here, Joe. I know that a lot of the companies that have gone through Energia, Summer Institute, and 4025 have also come back to the program that I'm really familiar and close with, which is the Master's Technology Management and Entrepreneurship. Now, it's a lot different, I would say, than any of the other programs we have going on, even comparative to all the others. So, Rachel, why don't we talk about that a little bit? What is the Mtme program?
Yeah, the Mtme is a 12-month accelerated master's program for students. I should start off by saying it's course-based, and it's for students who are interested in that deeper dive into, finding solutions for problems of today in an innovative way. So they are the students that we typically see in the Mtme program come from some sort of a technology background, whether it's engineering, science, computer science, and they want to find solutions that don't currently exist in the world. And it's really innovative projects that they're working on for the 12 months that they're with us. So they start in September, filtering through that funnel of ideas, and then come out in August with these really brilliant businesses that they then, launch and move forward. And we see today as super successful, awesome companies that are in our ecosystem today. Yeah.
It's really great to see some of those companies. And I know a lot of them overlap with some of our other programs like Stash and Potential Motors, who have seen pretty much everything we have to offer here at the center. So again, it's really great to see them become part of this ecosystem, become part of the people that we ask about mentorship, about helping other companies grow. Now, if someone wanted to apply for the master's program, is it something that we offer year round? Is it something that only intakes at a certain point of time? What should people looking to this master's course look for when they're applying to it?
So we have continual application review, but we do only have one intake for the Mtme program, and that's in September of every year, or fall term. Currently, we have only fall intake, and then students start in September and they go all the way until August. So you do have summer term in there, and you go fall term, winter, summer.
Sorry, I thought I had my mic unmuted. Anyway, yes. So the full year course, well, three terms, so to speak.
3 terms, 12 months. Yeah.
It's a very intensive time. I can say that from my own experience. But the thing I like to see, and maybe Joe, you could touch on this as well, but just sort of speaking about it from the Summer Institute side, is it has changed a lot since I've gone through it as well, and the iterative process of changing an entire program. So maybe both of you could speak on this. Is here at the center, we don't just talk about iteration and change and teach it. We also implement it ourselves. And maybe you can speak to some of the changes that we've gone through for the Mtme and Summer Institute Energia as well.
Yeah, so we, as Joe mentioned earlier, we're constantly, taking the feedback that we receive from students, as well as, listening to what our cohort members are saying, and constantly having those touch points with students. So we're making sure that the courses and the program fit with the needs of our students. We do still have those learning objectives and that we need to hit, but we can present them in different ways. So currently, the way that Mtme works is that you have our sort of backbone course, which is called Project Design and Development, so 6025. And that's where the project is developed. And then all the courses and all the content feed into the development of that core project. And that helps move it forward. And so we're really presenting that information to students in a structured manner so that the information isn't just fire hosed at students all at once in one term, and then they have to sort of implement that learning later on. It's sort of, you get the learning, you implement the learning, and then you build the project forward. You get the learning, you implement the learning, you build the project forward. So we try to do that in a very iterative process.
Excellent.
Joe, did you have any more comments on that?
Yeah, no, it's and no, I think you've pretty much nailed it. And the great thing about the program, and never are we an overwhelming size in our cohorts, and it's done for a reason. Is so that we can get that personalized learning and that personalized touch with each company. But that iteration can also take place on the fly. When we get a group that come in and we think, okay, we're going to teach this way, or we're going to get the message across through this method, and we quickly realize, well, that method doesn't actually match up with the cohort. So let's on the fly, let's change our teaching style. So that we make sure that those companies are and students are getting the best possible result for them. We have to remember, and I think we do a pretty good job of this. We remember that people learn how they learn, not how you like to teach. So we make sure that we're matching up to what they need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure, and I think it's been really effective in getting to people anywhere on the entrepreneurial journey. Now, just kind of thinking about that, we've talked a lot about some of the student-oriented stuff that's just right before people who are interested in entrepreneurship. We've talked heavily about people who are already in the entrepreneurship game, people like joining Summer Institute, the Mtme program, the Energia program. But is there anything that for earlier than these programs target? Is there something that we can start introducing these concepts and theories of entrepreneurship? Yes,
there is. Oh, would you like me to elaborate? Okay. My apologies. I'm in a silly mood today. So we did recognize that there is a bit of a gap between, okay, I'm ready to run through the Summer Institute or Energia or the diploma or the master's program, but what if I'm just a person at home with an idea and I don't have the first clue on where to start? We're actually in the process of developing a program for that, where you've got an idea, but you're not, maybe you don't have a business background, or you don't have the skill sets, but I want to do something and I've got a great idea. I think, what do I do now? So we're working on a program for that. It'll be a 4, 5, 6 week program, maybe a night or two a week, where we take people who have an idea and they're looking to run that idea. Getting back to the fail fast. We're looking to help these individuals with a very binary decision. Is it a go, no go? Let's take your idea. Let's do some market research. Is there anything out there like it? Let's do some customer discovery. Let's talk to some potential customers. Is the solution better or worse than the problem? If it's worse than the problem, then we may not have a business. But if it's better than the problem, then we can move forward. So we want to make sure that we are helping at what I'll call the grassroots level, where people have those ideas and they just don't know what to do next.
That's great, because like we said, we've got a lot of stuff in the middle, so it's really good to see that we're now focusing on some of this even earlier stage, I would say. And maybe we can even explain to some, you've used terminology, customer discovery, lean, maybe even the business model canvas. A lot of these things might be alien or foreign to people who don't know exactly what entrepreneurship is yet. So it's really great to see us take those steps to help people learn those things at the get-go, before they even start. Now, I just want to shift to the other side of the spectrum too. So maybe there might be companies out there that have some higher revenues that might not consider themselves a startup anymore, but definitely are still within the entrepreneurial community. Are there things that we have to help those companies grow even better?
Absolutely. We've got a program called Scale Up Atlantic Canada that we launched in partnership with Dr. Daniel Eisenberg out of Babson College. So he founded the Accelerator program down there, and we brought it to Canada, and we were the first ones to ever do it. So that's exciting. Joe, you didn't dance.
Oh.
There we go. Thank you. So what Scale Up Atlanta Canada is we help the companies who are between $1 and $15 million in revenue, and we show them how to rapid scale over 6 months. And the growth happens immediately and continues on. So that's the really, sorry, I just knocked over my precious hand sanitizer.
Okay.
It's always right here, and I just flew it. So Scale Up, like I was saying, we rapid scale the companies over 6 months. So we're actually getting ready for our second cohort of this. So we are still rapidly recruiting for this. So if you know some companies we should be connecting with, we're excited for this one.
And even just watching the first cohort go through and the results that we're seeing across the Atlantic, it's spectacular to see. And again, that was not necessarily, it wasn't last year, it was the year before, I guess, technically.
Yeah, so I don't like to count 2020 as a year. But I don't think anybody does. It all melds together. But in 2019, we did run a cohort. So last year, yes, last functional year, yes, we did have a cohort in 2019. Mm-hmm.
Even with that, though, the results helped those companies get through 2020. And I think that's what we really need to look at there, is that, you know, if we can help companies grow from the infant stage all the way up to where they're over $15 million in revenue, that's amazing. There is one thing I want to touch on. We talked a little bit about the students again, but is there's another program that we do have, and it is there to kind of act as that safety net, I would say.
Yeah, I would also kind of call it like a launch pad as well.
Yeah.
Especially for prototyping. So it's called the Technology Commercialization Program, or it's shortened to TCP. And it's there for students to pitch their ideas. And you can be in that early stage of development, and you just need help to sort of validate that idea by building the prototype. And you just don't know how to source that funding. That's what TCP is there for. Now, Dominic Blakely is the one who runs that program. So you can connect with him, blakely@umb.ca. Just fire him off an email. The way it works is there's 3 rounds of pitching. The first round is $1,000 up to $1,000. The second round is up to $4,000, and the final round is up to $5,000 for a total of $10,000. And the really exciting part of pitching with TCP is that TCP doesn't take a stake in the company, so you still maintain 100% ownership of your idea.
That is really valuable to anybody looking to build up their company. That it's a grant for all intents and purposes, so that's really great to see non-dilutive funding going out there. Just to kind of build on that though for a second, both the Summer Institute and Energy Adventures also offer some funding for their companies, and maybe Joe, maybe you could talk about that a little bit as well, about how that funding helps support companies as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So with the Summer Institute, we will take up to 4 founders per company, and what we do is actually through programs through the province's post-secondary education training and labor and the Regional Development Corporation. We work with these agencies to provide basically a minimum wage salary for the 13 weeks that you're in the program. So it works out to roughly, somewhere between $500 and $5,500 per person that's going through the company. So it gives you a little bit of extra security, so that we all recognize that every dollar counts, and especially when you're a startup. So if we can help you sleep at night and not worry a little less about where the groceries and the rent are coming from, then we're happy to do that, and it really does help the companies. With Energia, historically, we've had funding up to $70,000 per company. In our last cohort, it was $20,000 in grant funding from the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency. and then a SAFE, which is an acronym for a simple agreement for future equity, that provided $50,000 or access to $50,000 for the companies that go through the program. So this would be a future equity stake in your company. So it would apply to shares in the future. The decision's not made now how many shares, but it pushes that decision out to the future when your company's ready to be truly valued. About, like I said, $500 to $5,500 per person in the Summer Institute, and historically $70,000 Canadian dollars with Energia.
That's great to hear. And again, we've got all these options available to students and entrepreneurs across the board, and none of this could have been done without the many different partners that we have here at the center, of course, including RBC. I believe the SAFE agreement is with the Brunswick Innovation Foundation, or NBIF, also as well. ONB, I believe, is your contact, Rachel, for a few other programs that we've had in the past. ACOA, Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency. I don't know if I'm missing a few. Maybe you guys could talk about a couple of our others, of course.
So the other ones would be, of course, Post-Secondary Education Training and Labor, PEDAL for short. We also have, I think, RDC is another one we should definitely mention. I mean, we couldn't sit here and list all of the partners because we've so many that are amazing partners that we have. Joe.
Yeah, we've got some great funding partners, and I think we've from my seat we've covered all the funding partners that we work with, but we also have, we have across the center, across all our programs, probably well over 100 mentors and partners such as RBC. And service providers as well. So our programming, we bring in subject matter experts. It's not myself and Belle sitting at the front of the room for 13 weeks droning on. We bring in outside partners that are subject matter experts on HR, legal, sales, competitive intelligence, and all the work that these that is involved with the programming. So we would probably have another 2 or 3 dozen partners from that perspective, and we're always looking for more. So if you're a potential partner listening in, please, we'd love to work with you. Feel free to reach out, joe.allen@unb.ca. We're pretty flexible in what we'll take from. It doesn't have to be money. It can be programming. It can be. You can even an early adopter. We've got some of our partners that they don't do programming, they don't provide funding, but they'll say, you know what, we'll carry one of your company's products, and we see that quite often with the Summer Institute because we have a lot of consumer packaged goods with the Summer Institute, and we have some amazing partners that no questions asked. You went through the Summer Institute, yes, we're going to list your product. So we've, it's one of it's Dhirendra likes to talk about, I came to New Brunswick, I drank the water, and now I can't leave. It's in the water, but it's in the spirit. It's in the spirit of New Brunswick. We are collaborative, we're cooperative, and even when we're competitive, it's a co-opetition. It's us against the world. We recognize that we're 750,000 people, and that we need each other. We need to make each other stronger so that we can sell to the world.
Absolutely, and I think we bring that when we talk with some of our our global partners, like the Global Accelerator Network that we're all a part of, all the calls we take with them, and bringing that sort of ideas and ideals to these global communities. Now, what I'd like to talk about just real quickly there before we end for the day is a lot of these partners, as you said, don't necessarily offer funding, not necessarily that sort of stuff. They are subject matter expertise, but the biggest thing that we find is that they're mentors, and that's across the board, across all the programs that we offer. There's this goal to be to have strong mentorship for all of our companies. And maybe I think you guys could speak a little better to this than I could about the mentorship that we aim to have with all our companies. Maybe Rachel, maybe you could start us off, and then Joe.
Yeah, for sure. So within the Mtme program, we actually use the VMS model, so the Venture Mentorship System. Yes, the S always trips me up. So out of MIT, so we're trained on the model, and we bring in mentors who, not only are so generous with their time, but are so dedicated to building the future of our regional economy. And they come in, they give an hour of their time. I think it's an hour every month or 2 hours every month. And they sit with these companies and they just help. And it's sitting with our Mtme cohort and working with one team to build this team forward. And it's based on a blend of making sure that it's a good fit with the student team. So making sure all of the personalities fit well, but also making sure that the mentor is interested in what that team is working on, and making sure it's a good fit across the board and everybody's interested. With the VMS model that we do utilize, our mentors are not able to take a stake. So they are there purely for the development of that company and seeing that student succeed. And that's why I always say our mentors are the best that human beings ever, because they are there purely to develop that project. And they're there just out of the goodness of their own hearts. To build that forward. And our students, you see it in their projects. Their projects just keep going better and better and better. And their businesses come out so successful in the end. And they build this really strong relationship with these mentors.
Exactly. And again, we see mentorship as well over in Summer Institute Energy. And Joe, maybe you could talk about that a little bit more as well, about how we get that and what they do for the companies too.
Yeah, and like Rachel said, it really is a beautiful thing. Our mentors are there based on the desire to see other people succeed. It's like the elders of the community, and when I say elder, I mean in experience, because some of these mentors are in their early 20s, so right on through to their late 100s, I think. So we've got the full gamut, but one of the great things you made mention of the Global Accelerator Network, which we're part of, and that is a group of about 115 world-class accelerators from around the world. It is an invite-only membership, and we're very fortunate to be a part of that. So, with 115 different accelerators around the world, that gives us a safe landing spot in just about every territory of the world. Okay, I want to explore the market for this, potential market in Japan, and I'm going over there. Where do I go? Well, I can reach out and place you in an accelerator with a desk in Japan after about 2 emails. So that gives us great reach from a partner and mentor perspective. But also being part of UNB, it provides us access to some amazing world-class researchers. And we are so fortunate that, when we have a company come to us with a technical challenge, we can say, okay, who's the top 5? And start reaching through that list and saying, okay, we want to reach out to this person or that person. And then we've got also, we've got a dedicated business researcher within the UNB library system. So, we have access to databases that are about this thick and all kinds of wonderful information. So we really, we're so damn lucky.
No doubt. Yeah, having a world-class library, Rachel, I think you know very well about our library system here and the resources that we have, and having a dedicated
I think having Sally Armstrong as our entrepreneurship librarian is a huge resource for our students. She's absolutely incredible, and she knows the library system. I've dabbled into some of our resources, but Sally can send people the listings, and she knows where to look, and she has an absolute incredible resource for our students because she knows where to look, and she's the master of the library systems. And I think it's absolutely incredible that we actually have a dedicated entrepreneurship librarian here at UNB.
Absolutely. And Sally, if you're watching, we appreciate everything that you do, without a doubt. So everyone, I just want to say thank you all for joining us today, or joining me here and talking about the various different programs that we have to offer and the ways that we help entrepreneurs from the seedling all the way up to the great big people who are growing our economy here. So again, and I'm just going to leave you guys here on the call as I wrap this up here. Thank you all for tuning in to the RBC Lunch and Learn series here, hosted by the J Herbert Smith Centre. I hope you guys all found this show helpful for your entrepreneurship journey. If you do have any questions, you can reach out or look at the general website for now is unb.ca/TME. And if you have any other questions about any of our programs specifically, you can always email us at tme@unb.ca or visit the individual program sites, so summerinst.com or energyadventures.com or unb.ca/MTME for the MTME program, or reach out to us on any of our communication channels. So that includes Facebook or Twitter. So send us a direct message on any of those as well, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, because we're in the midst of recruiting for pretty much every program that we have to offer. So if you have any questions about any of those, please reach out and we'll be happy to help you with any of those. So next week, joining me, I have Mark Schechter, CEO of Think8. Mark is a mentor with everything that we do here at the center as well, but has a lot of experience in helping not just our companies, but companies around the world defining their purpose. And I think it's going to be a really great conversation how to best harness that messaging for any entrepreneur. So please tune in for that. And thank you all for tuning in this week. We hope you had a great time, and thanks for watching. So see you all, everyone.
Thanks for having us, Jade.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.